Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Intercontinental Sport TV, for this beautiful Manchester United jersey. You can see how it fits me. You can see how beautiful it looks on me. Thank you very, very much. You guys are the best. And also thank you to Gideon. Gideon, thank you. Despite all the inconveniences I've caused you, you were able to deliver this jersey down for me. You didn't even mind. Thank you very much. And please, guys, subscribe to Intercontinental Sport TV channel, YouTube channel. They have lots of content there. And not just that, though. Prizes to be won, like this one. Thank you.
Yes. Come on, let's go. It is what it is. I tell you, today is Monday. If you don't know, now you know. Please smash the like on the video. Let's do this. Let's begin. Let's start talking about Monday Sport Review Show. Lot of drama over the weekend. You know what I'm talking about. Famous handshake is there. Professor Tuchel is angry. He's a Chelsea fan. I'm even confused this morning because of my beautiful club, Manchester United. I don't know where to start from. I got to start from somewhere. But once again, I want to welcome everybody into this show. Beautiful Monday. Fantastic Monday. For all our subscribers anywhere you are in the world. Let's do this. First of all, I'm going to welcome Professor Tuchel. All the way from Nigeria, my country. He's a Chelsea fan today because he's angry at the moment. Well, let's hear from you. You're welcome, Prof. Prof, talk to me. How you doing this morning? Yes. Prof, are you listening to me? Are you there? You talk to me. All right. Okay, what's going on, bro?
Yo, the Don.
Yes.
Always a pleasure to be here as always. It's a beautiful Monday. Beautiful weather here in Lagos, Nigeria. I'm loving it.
I know it's going to be a beautiful Monday. I know. For all Arsenal fans, it's going to be a beautiful Monday. For Manchester United fans, it is what it is. Let's pick it up from there. Today, I'm going to wear my jersey. I'm wearing my jersey just to tell you we're not scared. We'll be back. Also, I want to welcome Cup for Life straight up. Cup for Life, what's going on? Liverpool is about to play their match today. You guys should sit back for another draw. I don't know what's going to happen. So that it's going to be just 2 points. You guys have to sit to me.
Well,
yeah, what's going on, bro?
It's a pleasure to be here. Where we have some great weather as well in Houston, Texas. Always excited to be on the show, and let's hope for a really, really engaging show. Let's do this, guys.
All right. Prof, talk to me. Chelsea fan, are you still angry? Your life, Prof. What's going on?
Uh,
Yes, I can hear you.
well,
Yeah, talk
good
to me,
evening,
bro.
everybody, wherever you are, all over the world. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Monday review show. Today is good to be here. It was a very, very eventful weekend of
Yes,
football, and we have a lot to talk
yes,
about. So let's do
yes.
this.
I know. Arsenal, I'm going to start from you. Let's pick it up from there. This is what we're going to discuss today. We're going to look at the EPL result, another league, star player of the week, EPL officiating chaos, and also club focusing. And that's going to be Manchester United. We also have top 10 African players this week and other sports we are going to talk about. So, guys, you're all welcome into the show. But let's start straight up with the results we have over the weekend. Please, I want to warn everybody that is going to talk about Manchester United. Please respect that. No, I'm not joking. I'm not joking. It's not easy. All
It's
right,
not
let's
easy to
look
be
at the
taking
results.
L back far.
Yes. I don't even know where we are going to win. I don't know where Manchester United is going to win their next one because I am sure Liverpool is going to go easy. All right, let's do this. Aston Villa Everton over the weekend. Aston Villa winning their match over Everton, and also Arsenal winning their match as well with Leicester City scoring 2 goals, 4 from Arsenal, and Brighton 0-0 with Newcastle. I want to ask you something. I'm going to start with Okwe. I think hold on. I want to start with you, Okwe. Please talk to me.
All right.
These 3
All right.
results:
So,
Aston Villa, Everton.
let's start with the Brighton game. The Brighton game was should I say it was underwhelming, to be honest. Apart from the highlights of the new Japanese player which Brighton signed, Miyoshi, he was the highlight for the game for me. He just played like 15 minutes, and I loved what I saw from him. And I think he's just a testament to how good the scouting system of Brighton really is. Very, very good player for me. And then generally, I think both teams were not just able to finish off in the final third. Quality was lacking in the final third from both teams, and that's why both teams are currently searching for strikers. And I'm even surprised that Brighton is ready to let Neil Mope possibly go to Nottingham Forest. I think that deal should be done before the end of the week. But if not for lack of quality in the final third, I believe there should have been goals in this game. But it was a great match at the end of the day and good encounter. Moving over to Aston Villa versus Everton, it was the first encounter between Steve Gerrard and Frank Lampard as managers. They squared off and they dueled many times as players. But it was Steven Gerrard, the former Liverpool legend, who got the win over Frank Lampard, his former colleague and England teammates. Aston Villa really, really put in a lot of hard work into the game. The first home game of the season, I think any other thing than a win was not going to be acceptable after the shock loss to Bournemouth in the opening weekend of the Premier League. A very, very, very good industrial goal by Danny Ings set them up and running. And then sadly, Luca Digne had to be the main subject of discourse. Last season, while playing for Everton, Luca Digne scored an own goal, and then which obviously was gifted to Aston Villa. This season, he's putting on an Aston Villa jersey. He conceded an own goal, giving credit to Everton. He seems to be cost in this fixture or something like that. And then, but positives for Everton, their new signing, Amadou Onana from Lille Metropole, showed good prospects, if you ask me. Someone who can actually make a real impact in the team. And hopefully, with the return of Solomon Rondon and the imminent return of Dominic Calvert-Lewin, hopefully Everton can get the game running. 2 back-to-back defeats starting off the season is really not good for them. And then diving into one of the big games of this past weekend, Arsenal versus Leicester City. I remember on the Friday preview show, I remember predicting
I remember too. I remember too.
Yes.
I remember.
I remember predicting a 3-1 win in favor of Arsenal. At a point in time in the game, that's what it was. I remember sending a message to Prof saying, "Look, it seems like my prediction is about to come to pass." And then immediately
and he aged well.
James Mason put the ball at the back of the net, and we're back to square one again. But at the end of the day, I think there were positives for Arsenal, if you ask me, which is the fact that Gabriel Jesus of the mark. He really wanted those goals after not scoring against Crystal Palace, which was a tough opener for them. And then, the good thing about it was that he could have scored 4 goals in that game, and he was so energized. You could see the way he was emitting the energy around him. Everybody was on top of their game. Big up to Xhaka as well. I don't think Arsenal fans give him a lot of credit. After falling out with the fans during the 2019-20 season, he has found his way back into the hearts of the fans, and he's taking that left central midfield role very, very serious. He was moving up the field, putting himself in goal-scoring positions. He hit the crossbar just before he then scored his goal. But an all-round performance from the Arsenal team, very good. Shout out to Gabriel Martinelli as well. He won every single ball he could win, and he was simply energetic throughout the game. And I think the biggest positive for Arsenal is the fact that now unpredictable. Last season, everyone knew that Arsenal would attack through the right-hand flank through Bukayo Saka, who would always put in a ball or create an opportunity. But then out this last game, it was through the left-hand side, through Zinchenko, Xhaka, and Martinelli. And also with William Saliba, big up to the Arsenal fans who were at the Emirates Stadium. They put their arm around him despite conceding the own goal. For me, that own goal, who was to blame was actually Aaron Ramsdale. I'm starting to suspect him. I hope he's not going to be a one-season wonder for us. But all in all, it was a great game. Leicester are in trouble. Leicester are in big trouble. They still have not signed any player this season. They obviously need a better goalkeeper after Kasper Schmeichel had left. And we know that Danny Ward is not it at all. Danny Ward is not it. So Leicester City need to do what needs to be done before the end of the transfer window.
Yes. That's a very good one. I want to welcome Kunle into the show as well. Kunle is standing in by from Lagos. Let's hear from him. Kunlexi, what's going on? Tell me something.
I'm
a
good,
Manchester United. A Manchester United fan. What?
For life. Always. Come rain, come sunshine. United for life.
You don't want it today. I actually called Irate. I hope you are not coming for the show. And you know what he said? He said, they gave him, he has a lot to do. I said, okay, thank you. Oh, I'll see you later.
Irate won't come, don't worry. Irate won't come.
All right. You're welcome, Kunle. I want to go to Brighton. Man City, Bournemouth, and Southampton Leeds. Over to you, Cup for Life. What do you want to talk about those two?
Okay.
Cup for Life.
All right. Well, it's an interesting game. Where do we start from? The Man City game.
Yeah.
The Man City game was a excuse me. I'm trying to clear my throat. It was an interesting game. Against Bournemouth. To me, we didn't really think about that game. It was a classic 4-0 win. Fantastic performance by Man City. Took the game, ran with it, dominated possessions, dominated attacking play. For me, a all-round great performance. I think the only challenge there, or the only negative, I don't even know if you can call it a negative, Haaland didn't score. Maybe you can look at it that
for FPL users,
for FPL users, we can talk about the FPL show. Many of us captained Haaland that game. This game weekend, again, the fact that he didn't perform, I think that was a little bit. He had an assist, which is 10 points for the FPL users. But anyhow, if you captained him, that is. But overall, very good performance by Manchester City. I think what is very clear, it's very early days, but it's very clear that Manchester City remain the team to beat again this Premier League season. There's no doubt about that. They win games on the counter. They don't win games. It's not like they get by in a game. They just, that you think they just win by maybe a goal or 2 goals. And you can feel the gulf in class when Man City play any other Premier League team. And that's what's exceptional about them. So, great play, great result for Manchester City. Top of the league, I believe. And again, game week 2, the top of the. That's scary. Game week 2. Then when you think about the other game, the Leeds United, there's the Southampton Leeds United great game. I loved that game because I think the classic bottom of the table match where you had Southampton, who started the season looking a little bit suspect. And I think what's been, Ralph Hasenhüttl has brought in players, but he's brought in a lot of young players, and that worries me for Southampton. Not enough experienced players to come in and really, really take the club to the next level. It could work, but again, it could be a real, real worry for them in the long term. And then when you start to think about Leeds United have lost a lot of quality players. Rafinha is gone. And when you start to think about the creativity, the genius, the guile that Rafinha brings in, you start to think, they may struggle. But what's interesting is Rodrigo seems to have stepped up. Rodrigo seems to be doing some. Can he replace Rafinha? I don't think so. However, 2-2, Leeds United were 2-0 up. Should have killed the game at that point. And then Southampton come back and draw the game 2-2. Our Southampton manager says that, in his own opinion, that was a phenomenal comeback. I beg to differ. I think for you to be at home, 2-0 down to Leeds United, and then you call a draw at home to Leeds United a positive result of some sort, I don't think so. I think that
I think it is. I think coming from where they were, that's what I call it.
So, like I was saying, so I think that for me, to come back from 2-0 down, I think was a good opportunity for them to come back and get there. But I still think that 2-0 down is. I think that they should be looking to win the game at Southampton if they want to remain in the Premier League. I think Rodrigo had a great game. The Leeds manager was disappointed. And I thought that was interesting because the Leeds manager still actually thought that was a bit of a pill to swallow. He felt like his side should have won that game. So, but generally speaking, I think 2 good games. Super excited to see where Manchester City go this season. I really, really think they are, without a doubt, the team to beat.
Yes. Thank you, Prof. Cop for Life. Thank you so much. We want to go into this topic about the EPL officiating chaos. I'm going to start with you, Professor Tuchel, about your match. That's your statistics I'm displaying on the page right now. Chelsea versus Tottenham. Look at the possession. I think Chelsea dominated the game from beginning to the end. And this one, Anthony Taylor, starting from you, Prof, from your own side as a Chelsea fan, what really happened? What's your take on this officiating and the famous handshake? What do you think?
First of all, let me talk about the game before the officiating. I think it was a very, very good tactical game. Like I predicted before the game, I knew that there would be changes in the Chelsea lineup with Aspilicueta dropping off and with James starting the game, so as to nullify the Son Heung-min's attack. And I saw that coming, and it was a good change it was a good set lineup by Thomas Tuchel, with Loftus-Cheek playing the right wing back, but wasn't necessarily there because when we had possession, it would drift inside, and that caused Spurs a lot of problems. Kane and Son were nullified throughout the whole game. It was a fantastic game by Chelsea, and you can see why Chelsea would not work with Lukaku, because look at the dynamism in front. There was a lot of movement in front with Havertz, Mount, and Sterling. Lukaku would not have done that. Would not have done half of what was done in that game. There was a lot of movements, a lot of dynamism in the attack, and this is why Chelsea is looking for a more dynamic striker. It was a good game, fantastic goal by Koulibaly in the first half, and then here comes Anthony Taylor with a very, very poor decision, because the ball, the tackle by Rodrigo Bentancur on Kai Havertz was a foul. It was a clear foul, and he didn't pick it up. And people might say another 44 seconds later, Chelsea had the chance to clear the lines, but they didn't. And then we were punished, and the goal was an offside because Richarlison was in the line of Mendy, was in Mendy's line. And if you know about football, you know that when the keeper is about to dive, the fact that Richarlison was in his eye view delayed his dive by a second, a little bit more, a little late. He couldn't dive when he was supposed to dive for that ball. And that went on. And then Chelsea replied with a fantastic goal by Reece James. And then the 9 minutes, last minute of the game, when we all saw what happened. Um, Cucurella's hair was pulled by Romero right in front of Anthony Taylor again. And even if I don't blame Anthony Taylor, even if you didn't see that incident, I expected it went to VAR. VAR looked at it, and I think it was Mike Dean. I don't know who was in the VAR, and they still didn't pull it back. So for me, it was a shambolic, officiating by all the officials of that day. They cost Chelsea clearly 3 points because Chelsea deservedly should have gone with that. And Anthony Taylor has a habit of poor officiating, especially Chelsea games. And Thomas Tuchel alluded to that in the press conference, that the players know, the fans know, everybody knows that Taylor is a very, very poor, disgraceful ref, and it was disgraceful display by him yesterday. It cost just 3 points.
Yeah. Over to you, Okwe. What do you say about this officiating and also the famous handshake by the two gaffers?
Sorry, let me quickly touch on the handshake. Yeah, the handshake, I feel like Conte was a little bit, because if you want to shake, Tuchel called him back to say, look, if you want to shake me, look at me in the eyes before you. I think that's the proper way to give a handshake. You look at me in the eyes. You don't just shake me. If you want to do it, at all, you do it. If you don't want to do it, then you stay away. So I think it was a little banter and was fun to watch for everybody. Yeah.
So it was crazy. Both of them received a red card. I think.
Yeah. They both received red cards, and then the FA now we heard is looking into the comments by Thomas Tuchel, who said that Anthony Taylor. Look, he said a lot about Taylor and how the players know that he's not good enough, and he was performing poorly in all our games, and so I think they said the FA is looking at it. So I think he might likely miss the game against Leeds next week.
Oh well, from your own point of view, what do you think about this, the officiating and also the famous handshake? Let's do this.
Yeah, talk about the officiating. It's very hard to ignore the fact that there is a catalog of different experiences of Chelsea Football Club and Anthony Taylor. To the extent that someone was able to pull up a thread on different occasions where Anthony Taylor has given bizarre calls against Chelsea. And it's hard not to think about the fact that maybe there is some sort of agenda going on between Anthony Taylor and Chelsea Football Club. Obviously, some fans have gone to the extent of saying Anthony Taylor is corrupt. And yesterday, 2 hours after the game, a petition was already going around for Anthony Taylor not to officiate any Chelsea game anymore. Less than 30 minutes into the petition, 10,000 people had signed it. So it's that serious. The fans are not having it anymore in a season which is very crucial for Chelsea, and in a season which every game and every point earned is extremely important. I don't blame Chelsea. I don't blame Chelsea fans. I don't blame Thomas Tuchel for his comments. I just hope he doesn't get any lash. And there's no lashback from this year. But then, talking about the handshake, first of all, Antonio Conte is known as a very erratic and emotional man. You could see that when Tottenham scored all their goals. And then, Tuchel being the cool man he is, everyone has their limits. And obviously, he couldn't deal with what the antics from Antonio Conte. At the end of the day, it's two great managers pitting up against each other. It's football. It's just for the love of it. And definitely, Tuchel wanted to get under the skin of Conte a bit because Tuchel also was pleased with the conduct of the sports players. Rodrigo Bentancur with that tackle, and obviously Coutinho Romero with that headbutt on Cucurella. It is absolutely unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. But this famous handshake has, in the next 30 years, when we're saying, okay, 60 memorable moments in the Premier League or 60 years of memorable moments in the Premier League, we will talk about the famous handshake.
Yes, Cup for Life. Well, from your own point of view, what do you feel about that incident? That's the Anthony Taylor officiating and also the famous handshake. What's your take on this?
It's an interesting match, and that to me, let's start by saying that if we look at the two goals that Spurs scored, so for me, the first goal, the Højbjerg goal with the Richarlison supposedly obstructing, I agree with that one. I completely believe that was 100%. I think that was a goal. There's no doubt about that. I think the second goal was completely a foul. There was just no way the second goal should have stood. And if the second goal did not stand, that definitely means that Chelsea go on to win that game. Chelsea, without a doubt, were the better side. They played better football. They controlled the game. They, without a doubt, were more superior to Spurs, which is completely and totally factual and understandable, given the fact that if you look at the first 11, to me, Chelsea have the better lineup. Chelsea have the better team overall. When I think about the whole handshake situation and the drama around the handshake, my only comment around that is this. You should not try and play the chief antagonist at trying to be an antagonist. Antonio Conte is not erratic. Antonio Conte is not stupid. He's one of the most clever managers out there. And in fact, is an antagonist and intentionally goes to antagonize other managers. He is very good at it. And when you are Thomas Tuchel, the best thing you can do is stay away from that situation. Don't let the emotion of that situation overcome you as well, because that's exactly what Conte is hoping for. And then, to me, there was only one winner when we think about that, and to me, that was Antonio Conte. Antonio Conte dragged him, and he dragged him into a mental place that he should never have allowed himself to go to. Yeah. And that's where I feel like overall there was only one winner yesterday, and that was Antonio Conte, because he knew exactly what he was doing, and Tuchel played into his hands 100%. Bad result for Chelsea because they deserved to win the game, but managers, without knowing as well, mentally play a part in impacting their players. And when you start to now, what's going to happen is that now the next game is going to go to Spurs, and now it's going to become even bigger than it needs to. And there's just no need for that. Now it's going to become bigger than it needs to be. You already have the London derby with Arsenal. You have to still play West Ham. Now you have to, as a London club, you need to always realize that you have 4 to 8 games every season that are tougher games than you need to have. If you look at the Liverpool and Everton, even though Everton are nowhere near Liverpool standards, there's no reason. One of the things that Jurgen Klopp does and has done, I'm going to round up in 1 second, is he tries to take the Everton game and take the emotion out of it, because he knows that it's an important game that if you misplan it or mistime it from a manager's perspective, it can become a much bigger game than it needs to be, and you can end up dropping points that way. So simplify these derby games and don't make them bigger than they need to be. And I think that's where Thomas Tuchel still has some lessons to learn. Don't get caught up in the emotion of the game.
Well, yes, that's it. Kunle, as a Manchester United fan, let's switch a little bit. I'm sure you're going to want to say something about the officiating and the handshake. You can wrap up these things together, but let's look at the result of Manchester United. That's the focus club we are looking at today. That's Manchester United. I don't want to talk about Manchester United in my own way, because I don't know when we are going to win. I don't know where we are going to win. I don't know where we are going to. Kunle, can you hear me, please?
Okay. Yes, I can.
All right, please go for it. Manchester United. I actually want to thank God IRH couldn't make it.
Nah, he's not going to make it. Don't worry. No matter what, IRH won't make it on this show. It's not a course, though. It's not a course, but he won't make it. No matter what.
You see those three guys? You see Okwe, Cup for Life, Prof. They are ready.
Yeah, I know. No.
So that's why I want you to quickly say your own so that we can wrap up the show.
No, you get. I understand that people are, but I think I was saying this to Prof last week when I said that one shouldn't be surprised by what is happening to Manchester United. I know Prof last week was telling me, when I told him that Brighton are a good side, they play good football. I think even Cup for Life actually did make mention. I don't know, maybe maybe back at the back end, someone was actually saying, if you look at Brighton play very good football. They know how to make use of the ball. So against a team like Brighton, if you don't take your chances, they are going to
Yeah.
punish you. I mean, look at how Brentford were setting traps for United. Like
I,
it
I
was just as in like they put United in places where they were not supposed to be. And I'm like, everything Brentford was doing is exactly what United was supposed to be doing. I mean, there was this statistic on Sky Sport where before the end of the first half, Brentford had 8 pressures in the opposition half, while
ah
Manchester United only had 2. It goes to tell you who it goes to tell you who was prepared for the game. You understand? So I don't think to I'm not going to be faced. Look, Liverpool is coming next. I've already
yes.
started telling
Can
people
you
that, see,
imagine?
if Manchester United loses 7-0 or 8-0 in the next game, nobody should be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised because I know that clearly that team is not properly set up. And one of the reasons is that, yes, it seems Ten Hag has a way he wants to play, but clearly this crop of players that are there, they can't do it. And that is the plain truth. Now, it is impossible for you to say, okay, all these players who are not good, we take them off. It's not possible because I know people, they will keep saying, oh, why is Maguire the captain? Why is Dalot playing? But what are you going to use to replace them? There's no one. But then I said something. The good thing is, much of these players, their contracts are going to be out either by the end of the season or next season, which includes players like David De Gea, Marcus Rashford, Anthony Martial. Left to me, those players, they should not renew their contracts for anything. Yes, because I think it is clear that they cannot be. These guys, no matter how much you try to train them, cannot be trained to play the modern game. So let's face them out and bring in people who know how to play the game properly. Because the problem is players like Martinez that come in. Martinez is a good player. But the problem is Martinez is sort of like higher, his level is higher than this current Manchester United because he's coming from an Ajax team that is very efficient. And you're now coming to a Manchester United team that is at sixes and sevens. It's going to be difficult. Even he himself will be. I don't know if you've noticed the banter. There's now
Yeah.
this ridicule around him that he shouldn't be
Yeah.
played. He shouldn't be played at centre back. He should be played at DM. What if he's played at DM and United still get whooped? What? Because one thing about United is they always keep making these excuses upon excuses. Once they can't give this excuse, they jump to this next excuse. Okay, so what if at least there was no Fred McTominay on Saturday?
No, there
There
was
was no.
Fred play.
Yeah, Fred played. No, that's what they usually say, that it should be Fred or McTominay flanked between Ericsson and Fernandez, and that was exactly what happened. But what did we see at the end of the day?
The same trash.
So I mean,
All
that's
right.
just it.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Kunle. Professor Tuchel, what do you want to say about Manchester United's position right now? That's the club focus we are doing right now. Prof.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Please go
All
ahead.
right. So yeah, what we saw that day, the shit show that we saw against Brentford was started from the long-term problem, and we saw the long-term problem and the short-term problem. The long-term problem from the Man United owners, the Glaziers, who have run the club to the ground. They signed players for the gallery over the years. They spent over £1 billion since Sir Alex Ferguson left, and signed players for the gallery for merchandise. They've signed players like Zlatan, like Falcao, like Bramovich, Pogba, players that for the fact that they can earn more money. They did not put football people in football positions in the club. Ed Woodward, who left, didn't know anything about football. Didn't know anything about signing good players. Didn't know anything strategic about running the club. It was good for the money. It was good for the merchandise side, and that was what we saw. Man United were making money, but they were not performing on the pitch, and it has degraded and degenerated to this point, where now they sign players. Some of these players they sign for more money, for big amounts of money, that they are not worth. They sign players that are not as good as the money they signed them for. We can pick the team now. Harry Maguire, all of them. Like, sure, these people, they are not as good as the amount that they were signed for, and this is down to the club and how it has been run. So the match on the day against Brentford, it was in Eric Ten Hag showed his naivety in that game. Now, even as a player, I think we had over £400,000 worth of players on the pitch.
On the pitch,
400 million, sorry, on that Man United team sheet. So for no reason, and that was what I alluded to against Brighton. For no reason should Man United be losing games like that. We can hear if they lose to Arsenal or even to West Ham, but to Brighton,
we can't lose to Arsenal. No. Point of correction. We can never lose to Arsenal.
But to Brighton and Brentford, if those players have any sort of pride in themselves, once they cross that white line, they should be able to perform. You know, the manager, like I said, showed his naivety by using Eriksen in the DMF position. That was ludicrous for me. I don't know what he was thinking. And you can see that the Brentford players were ready. They were ready to attack him. They were ready to always attack when they were playing the ball short to him. And he was culpable for about 2 goals. Same with David De Gea, who had a very poor performance. I think these players have lost belief. I think they've lost confidence. Some of these players, you'll be shocked if they put some of these players in other teams. If Bruno Fernandes was put in a City team, you'll be marveled how we step up back. I think there's a mentality issue in that dressing room. I think these players they've down tools. They are not confident enough. Some of them feel like they don't want to play football. Marcus Rashford feels like he doesn't want to play football anymore. So I think there needs to be an open heart surgery, like Rauf. What was the former manager's name again? That was in Man United. Like he said, I think he should have been kept in the club for the purpose that was brought in, because he saw the problem firsthand. Can you please? What's the name of the guy that was former coach that was there? I can't remember. That just left. Ralph Rangnick. I think he should have retained. Yeah, thank you very much. I think Ralph Rangnick should have retained his job as I think he should have retained his job as, the back room, whatever, because he saw the problem, and they should have kept him there to address him and build another team. But now, like I said, Man United are in serious problem, and I think they're going to lose against Liverpool, and might get worse. Yeah, so thank you.
Up for life, what do you think about this Manchester United? We are not lovers, we are not friends when it comes to football.
No, boss, I disagree. You shouldn't give cup for my like. No, you shouldn't. I disagree.
He's going to finish us.
I disagree. You shouldn't give him the mic. You shouldn't give him the mic.
He's going to finish us.
He's just an extension of irate. He shouldn't be on. He shouldn't even be on the show today.
Unlike I want to be as so. What is going on with Manchester United? We've seen it before. It's not new, and Liverpool went through similar process. Probably it never kind of got to a point where the players completely, let's start by saying that the game against Brighton, I think a lot of people had a lot of, Brighton ran Liverpool ragged at Anfield. This is not Brighton are one of the finer football playing sides in the Premier League. So let's not think about that too much, in the sense that that's a reality, man. Brighton can do that to many teams in the Premier League on their day. The other, when you think about the Brentford match again, I think is just a scenario where, to me, again, Manchester United fell short because of many reasons. But my concern is when I think about Manchester United, and I worry about the fact that I feel like the direction the club is going when it comes to what they're trying to do next. I don't think that the ownership structure know where they're going or what they're trying to do. That's my biggest concern, in the sense that, to me, went all out to sign Erik Ten Hag, and that this is a manager that does not have any real network outside of Holland. You can see that in the kind of players that he's trying to sign. When a manager comes in and all he's interested in is bringing in players that he's only worked with in the past, it tells you deficiencies in his own overall network of players that he's aware of. And that in itself worries me and concerns me about Manchester United. So I don't know that Eric Ten Hag is good enough. One, I don't know that I don't feel like the current crop of players are. I don't think that the current crop of players believe that Eric Ten Hag is the manager for the future as well. I think that's already very obvious, even just after 2 games. I think there's a lot of work that needs to be done at Manchester United. The owners need to go. Ten Hag himself is not the one for the future. And in fact, you're better off with... I would even go as far as saying that you were better off under David Moyes, because at least David Moyes had an understanding of the Premier League. There was no way on earth David Moyes would have signed a centre-back that was 5'9" and playing in the middle of the park, in the middle of the centre of your defence. It's just not... It just shows a clear lack of understanding of the Premier League. And it will take him 2 to 3 seasons to get to the point where he will get that understanding. And whether or not he will then have the network resources to bring the right players in to then take him to the next level, given that, I'm not too sure about. So, tough times for Manchester United. I actually see them drawing the Liverpool game. I see Manchester United drawing the Liverpool game. I see it as...
Really?
Yeah, I do. I see it as...
That would be nice.
I see it as a 1-1 like that. I honestly would like to see Manchester United do well, because at the end of the day, they're a big club. They're one of the bigger clubs in England, and I like to see them get back to where they are and let Liverpool and them and Man City and Arsenal compete for a league title for once. But it's just going to be so hard because you're falling behind by about 8 to 10 players.
Yes.
And I don't think that anybody that you've signed at the moment has helped you to close the gap, even under Ten Hag.
Thank you.
Even under Ten Hag. That's the challenge.
All right. Thank you. The match between Liverpool versus what's the name of that? It's Crystal Palace. Yeah, it's about to go down, and
it's a bit of a... That game is a bit of a worry for me because
I actually wanted you to say something about the match before I go to Ope about what he says about Manchester United.
Right. Very quickly.
Yeah.
Very quickly, the defense is something that's a little bit of a worry today. So Alisson in goal, you've still got Trent at right back, Van Dijk in the center and on the left side, you've got Robertson. It's very, very strange to me. Neither Matip doesn't start that game. Konate and Matip are out injured. And I would have played Mez in the center of the defense with Van Dijk. But he's opted for Phillips there. And I'm a little bit concerned about that because I'm not sure that he's got the pace to deal with Zaha. In the middle of the pitch, he's got Fabinho, which is understandable, and then he's got the old man in the left side of the old man. To me, and when I think about it, I'm just a little bit concerned that again the quality in the midfield is not there in this game for me. That's he's got Milner and Elliott in the middle of the midfield with Fabinho. I think Milner is prone to yellow cards. I'm a bit worried about that. Elliott is going to be creative, so that's fine. Up front, you've got Salah, Mane, and Diaz. I think that's going to go all out there. I think he's hoping that his forward 3 go out there and annihilate Crystal Palace. But I'm a bit concerned that going back the other way, I don't know about Phillips and I don't know about what Nat Phillips is going to bring there. That's a bit of a concern.
All right. What do you want to say about Manchester United before we move to star player of the week?
Yeah, to be honest,
take it easy. Just what you're going to say.
Banter aside, if I'm being very honest with you, there's a deep rot in Manchester United, and this goes back to Ole's second season at United for me. Because if I'm being very, very honest, as a football lover, I think the banter side of United's downfall, it's gone for me. It's not fun anymore because it's beginning to look like a football decay. At the end of the day, Manchester United is one of the most illustrious and important clubs in the history of Premier League football. Even in European football, they are right up there with the best of the best. So when you see a club like that on a constant downward spiral, truth is that it's a problem. A long life Manchester United fan who is a friend of mine even made a joke that maybe Sir Alex Ferguson caused club after he left. I don't think Fergie will be happy to see what is going on. I don't think Fergie will be happy about the fact that he's not enjoying his retirement as much as he wants to, because the board always has to call him in when they're Trafford, after preseason. Fergie had to come in basically to try and convince him to stay. But then again, the owners are a problem. Just like Prof said, I believe they've been more concerned about money. That's a major reason why United are in the stock market, and the stock market, they're concerned about signing players who would, should I say, always make good turnover for them. Players who, in the trickle, or rather in the sprinkle of signing them, they make back the money that they have spent on them by just their jersey sales. Look, United can sign quality players. Quality players will always be attracted to Manchester United, but how to implement them and use them is one thing at the end of the day. Couple like said, maybe United would have been better off with David Moyes. I don't agree, because David Moyes had never experienced, and even till today, David Moyes had never experienced winning a trophy. He's not a big name manager. Van Gaal and Mourinho had been the best two managers since Fergie left. I believe Mourinho was the best person to take them going forward. But obviously, Woodward was not going to allow Mourinho to do what needed to be done in terms of bringing in players. He wasn't going to give him the players he wanted, and that's a problem. So Woodward had his part to play. The Glazers have had their part to play. But right now, even as we speak, United are now in a situation whereby even the players are a problem. You've got players who are not fully committed. You've got players who are not giving 110% on the pitch. It's a problem. Man United are a limbo. I believe Eric Ten Hag needs to come to terms with reality. He needs to quickly brace up in terms of his scouting options, because I wonder why United did not go for the likes of Denis Zakaria in January, who was available. They did not go for Isbi Suma. These are players who could have showed up their defensive midfield worries. Philippe Caicedo of Brighton is there, another good choice. If we're talking about English options, Calvin Phillips is there. They allowed him go to Manchester City. They are noisy neighbors. It's becoming a problem. It's worrisome as a football lover. And I really hope that before the end of this transfer window, United sign good players who are going to solve their problems. Hopefully.
Well, let's move into the star player of the week before the match between Liverpool and Crystal Palace is going to start. At the moment, I'm looking at Daniel Nunes moving around the field right now. It's fantastic. It's going to be a massive. How are you feeling, Cup for Life, for this match? You're feeling ready? You're comfortable? Your confidence is coming in about this match?
I am not comfortable. I am never comfortable when Liverpool are playing. And I tell you why.
Why?
And I tell you why. It's an interesting thing. Have you ever seen a side that gives away many opportunities to the opposition like Liverpool?
Oh.
Liverpool will give you a chance in every game you play against Liverpool. If you take it, that's another thing. Most of the times, most teams don't take it because we have one of the best sweeper keepers around. But the bottom line is that Liverpool will give you an opportunity. When you have Will Zaha, can you hear me?
Yeah.
When you have Wilfred Zaha about to play against Trent Alexander-Arnold and Nat Phillips, you cannot be comfortable because you know that all it would take is Will Zaha at some point will get the best. It's only a matter of when. If. It's not if, it's when. So I would not be surprised if we go into a draw.
All right, that's going to be massive then. A draw? That will be as good. Anfield will be a draw.
I think we will win by maybe 3-1.
I will come all out for the battery. But I will come all out. Now, let's look at the star of the week. Kunle, what do you feel about the star of the week? I'm talking about Gabriel Jesus. Kunle. Your mic. I can't hear you. Your mic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
Yeah.
right.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Um. Firstly, I'm very upset with Cup for Life. Very, very, because I had this guy. I had this guy in my team,
Oh,
but
in
I took Cup for
fantasy.
Life's advice and was, yes.
Thank God
I
I
want
have
to
him.
say
Oh.
it out.
I
I
have him.
want to
Oh.
say it out here. I don't have to. Because Haaland is like 3 million. Because Haaland is like 3 million more than Jesus, I had to keep him. I had to let go of Jesus like that. And I brought in Haaland thinking, oh, Haaland is gonna be the life of the party. You know, hat-trick loading. I made him my captain.
Captain.
Cup for Life.
Oh
I've
my
I've not
goodness.
yet come for I've not yet come for Cup for Life. Honestly, I am coming for him because I took that his advice. I really reasoned it that, oh no, this guy is going to, like, oh, this is good, that like that burnout game is going to be the Haaland show. Apparently it seemed it was the Kevin De Bruyne show at the end of the day. And Haaland only had one assist for it. You can imagine. If I had kept Jesus now, at least I would have been chilling, because I had
No,
Jesus in.
I
Yeah.
I have a
You
fantastic
understand?
score.
Yeah, but then it just goes to show you that even though Jesus blanked against Crystal Palace, it was evident that no, you can't use that game to judge him. He was going to come good, so it was no surprise that he blew Leicester City. Left to me, Leicester City is not even a good team. I'm sorry, because I've lost my respect for Brendan Rodgers, because Leicester City just blew things away under this manager. So no matter the good players they have, they blew things away. So I wasn't surprised that Arsenal blew them away, but it was the Jesus show. I mean, two fantastic goals. He added two assists to it. This is where I was also. It also led to my point where I said that if Arsenal should avoid injuries this season,
Mm.
they are going to go far, and that far might be as much as cracking into the top two. Trust me, and they're already showing it. If they
All
can
right.
stay fit, they are going far.
All right, the match is about to commence in Anfield. I'm sure Cup for Life, his mind is Zomo here, is ready to kick it. But quickly, the star player, I'm talking about the African player for this weekend. Let's go straight into it because of our time. We have David Okereke, number 10 for this week. He scored a goal in Cremone's 3-2 Serie A defeat to Florentina. And also number 9, we are looking at Moses Simon. That's a number 9 for this week. He's a Nigerian and scored a goal in Nantes 1-1 league draw with Lille. And also Aribo. Yeah, I want to, Kunle, please, can you tell me something
Yeah,
about Aribo? This is number 8 for this week. He scored a goal in Southampton 2-2 Premier
yeah,
League draw with Leeds
yeah,
United.
yeah. I mean, when he was signed, you see, Joe Aribo was a phenomenal player for Rangers last season as they reached the Europa League final but lost. From his performances, I knew that him and Calvin Bassey, I knew that the two of them were, that a club was going to come for them very soon. And it was just surprising that Aribo just went for 10 million. I mean, that is like a massive steal,
I
very with
tell
the
you,
quality he has.
10
So it's
million.
it's not surprising that he has settled into the Premier League. I think when you are in a team, if you are in a team that has a good system, a good structure, you will thrive. And I think Aribo has already shown. He came off the bench. Now imagine if he starts being a regular. That means he's going to be taking his career up a notch. So I mean, I expect to see more from him. There's definitely going to be more to come from him as the season progresses. So that's a very good one from him.
All right, number 7 for this week is this engineer. I call him Engineer Kolibali. Scored a
Yeah,
2-2 Premier League draw with Southampton over the weekend. Okwe, what do you feel about Kolibali straight up without wasting much of our time? Liverpool is about to go down with a goal in the first minute. That's the dream I'm looking at right now. I don't know who is talking to me.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Oh, for life.
Quickly with Khalidou Koulibaly, I mean,
Yeah.
his quality showed in that goal that he scored. It's not an easy volley. The technique he used was absolutely fantastic, and you could see that it was something off the training ground. Apart from that, his all-round performance was very, very good. He's one of
Very
those
good.
very few
Very
players who are aging like fine wine, just like Thiago Silva. Players who just get much better and better as they grow older. And I hope to see more fantastic performances from him wearing the Chelsea jersey, but most importantly, having that number 26 with him, which John Terry vacated years ago.
There's a message coming in from Anfield right now. They said Salah is having diarrhea, so he won't be continuing with this match. What am I reading? Come for life, you're scared. Come for life, you're scared.
Oh, no.
All right. Number 6 for this week, we have Mbala Zola from Angola. That's fantastic. He scored a goal in Spezia, 1-0, Syria 1 win with Poli. And that's a nice one. We also have our brother going to number 5, Ademola Lookman of Nigeria, who scored in Atlanta, 2-0 Syria 1 win over Sampdoria. And then moving straight to number 4, we have this guy, Chuba Akpom. Opo, you're saying something about this guy. What are you saying about him? He's an England, Nigerian guy. He said he moved from Arsenal. You guys Arsenal sold it to Championship?
In 2018, we sold him to Middlesbrough, and then he didn't really have a good start at Middlesbrough, funny enough, and then immediately he was loaned out to PAOK Athens in Greece. He had a fantastic time in Greece, and then since he's come back to Middlesbrough, he has tried to be consistent. He's actually related to Kanu Nwankwo. He's one of our products at the Arsenal Academy. He really couldn't break into the first team, obviously, at that time in 2018, due to the quality of strikers that we had. But he's on for the future. He has switched against to Nigeria, actually. He's available for Nigeria one time. So let's see what happens in the future. Let's see if he's going to be consistent. But with our current set of strikers, I don't think he will break into that echelon of Nigerian strikers.
All right, number 3 for this week is this guy show us Pepe. This guy show Manchester United Pepe. Brian Buemo of France to Cameroon. He scored in Brentford 4-0 Premier League win over Manchester United. And also moving straight to Taiwo Awoniyi, who's also scored in Nottingham Forest 1-0 Premier League win over West Ham United. And our number 1 for this week, because of our time, Cup is already about to enter into the Anfield Stadium. And let's see how it goes. Somebody says 1-0. I'm not sure it's 1-0 yet. Then number 1 for this week. I don't know why they are giving me fake news. Or am I watching something else?
The game has not started now.
Oh my goodness. It said, yeah, started. Okay. Game has started.
Oh, really?
Yeah, started. Okay. So number 1 for this week, guys, ladies and gentlemen, all our viewers watching right away, we want to thank everybody. This number 1 for this weekend. It is what it is. Thank you, guys. Cup for life. Anything to say? What's your scoreline for this match? Tell us something.
So Liverpool, the game has started. Liverpool have already scored 1 goal already in the first 30 seconds.
Lori
Lori Thunder fire on Liverpool haters.
And myself, I was looking now. I was looking that he's 7:59 here now.
Yeah.
Just kick-off
would have barely started.
Myself was now looking at live stream. I'm like, I was like,
just now.
So you can score a goal before the game starts.
Wow.
Oh, training. Wow. No, Liverpool have exhausted their goals. If that's the case, if they've scored in all those training and pre-match drills, they've exhausted their goals. Don't worry.
Oh man, yeah, it's been a fantastic
score.
Yeah. Guys, let's go. We'll be back next week, same time. where we're talking about Manchester United versus Liverpool next week, Mondays, the same time. So, all right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, please, all of you, please subscribe to the channel. This is where it's happening. I'm talking about the all kind of sport on Monday Sports Review Show. Come for life. We wish you all the best. Liverpool 0, Crystal Palace 3-0. That's my prediction. Okay, Adebari, what's your score prediction in this match? Please go for it. What's your score prediction in this match?
The done. I go with you. 3-0 victory to Crystal Palace.
Oh! Kunle, please, before you go, what's your score prediction?
Me, I would be very nice. I'll be very nice. Liverpool 0, Crystal Palace 1. In reverse, as Prof like said, I'll be nice. I won't. Yes.
Milner, mistake. Damn. All right, guys. Thank you so much, guys. One love, bro. All right. Thank you, everybody. Please, big up to everybody. All our subscribers, please. Let's keep it going. All right. The match is about to. Oh, wow. What a miss. All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Your host is here. They call me the Don. The Don of Sport Entertainment. One love, everybody.